Okay.
Alright. Hey Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Scrappy-Dappy-Doo! Puppy Towers! Blanket Shaggy Too! And you got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sullivan Project podcast. I'm your host, Harold Sullivan. I'm going to move it away from the bed and go towards it. Jeez. Okay, anyway, if y'all haven't tuned in before, I lost my sight a couple of years ago. I was born with autoimmune disease. And I haven't been able to walk since I was under 10, probably. So, be grateful, because just when you think you got it figured out or whatever, you're cool, you're coasting, bam. Oh God, see? Banging into stuff. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:17 p.m.
Make sure I'm not near close to the bed, because I want to make sure y'all can see me on there. I'm having a tough time lately. We all got stuff. So, even though I'm just sitting here in this brick of the room alone, I'm just bashing stuff today. I find, just trials and tribulations. I gotta get the vape going, hopefully y'all don't mind. But yeah, I use the smart devices to tell time, check the weather, listen to audiobooks, podcasts, all that, take notes. And without that stuff, I don't know how I'd have made it, since I lost my sight. And you can see I'm physically disabled. I can't really do much. I got my vape taped to a broken antenna so I can reach it. And my fork I eat is 17 inches long, the fork I use. But I'm glad, and I'm happy just to get by, just to be here every day. So if you want to check out previous episodes of the show, we're on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78, TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78, Facebook, Harold Sullivan period 35. And you can email the show, hs19782015 at outlook.com. You can call the show, 724-513-1472. We have guest audio or video, or if you just want to get something out, you want me to say it. Or leave comments, share, friend us, we appreciate it. I want to help anybody, and you never know. Just being there to listen for someone, you can help them, save them. I got a lot of stuff that's important here. I want to share today. And everyone has a story. You can't judge a book by its cover. And so I started this podcast just like I said, so I can get some stuff out there and people can hear it. And you never know where your information, where the best information that could suit you may come from. So just listen out and just keep your stuff open, and just don't discount anyone, you know what I mean, because the messages come. When you need to hear the things, they'll come to you. We had who do we have? Ernie Hudson on recently from Quantum Leap, and Quantum Leap and The Crow, and Ghostbusters, of course. He was one of our latest celebrity cameos, so go check those out. We appreciate it. And see what else we're going to talk about. Star Wars today, a couple other things. Halloween's coming back, another Halloween. Of course, Halloween's my favorite movie, the original Halloween. 1978. We're going to get to a bunch of other stuff here. God babies are doing good. God bless them. Talked to Dan and Danny, Chris. We just did a recent podcast with Chris. Actually, this is the start of the 3rd season as well. So, congratulations on all that. Congratulations, I should say, on all the guests and just the people that have been helping out. And just we have hats, we have pens. If anybody wants any of this stuff, just you can PayPal me or you get me shipping. That's all, and I'll send you stuff for free. Any of the stuff, hats. We got shirts. Well, you got to pay for. If you want a custom shirt, I'll get you the shirts and the hats, the pens, and the little things. That's free. Just pay shipping. And also, I've been doing essential oils and jewelry. I've been making, and all kinds of other stuff. All this I will send for free. And if you just send, if anybody wants shipping or you're in the area, you want to pick it up. Essential oils, herbs. I've been doing a couple of different mixtures, remedies, and anything like I said, except for the hats, the t-shirts, I gotta get them made custom made. So small stuff though, and the oils, I even those are free. We don't know away. So just contact the show. And I just finished a song. Finally, I've been trying to do a song for a while, a full song, my first full one. I'm calling it a Frankenstein-ish because I didn't really know what I was doing putting it together, but it's a start. So, but it's for my goddaughter. It's called The Next Generation. Inspired and helped, written by Tupac Shakur. I was channeling him, and I've actually been in contact with him. And there's some other celebrities. I've actually done celebrity guest or celebrity psychic readings on the podcast. So, but he was Danny's and still is, and he's a influence of mine from the past, Tupac Shakur. So I want to do something for Danny when he had his first baby. Now he has 2. But I've been going through stuff and lost files and this stuff that happened, and had to rewrite things a few times. Finally got it put together, piece together. My sister helps me with the computer when she has the time, and it's up there now. The Next Generation, featuring Crooks, is what the name we're gonna go by. It was my voice, but a voice edited, so I'm still trying to figure out whether I just want to do mine, the whole for each song, because I've been writing lots of songs lately. Since I lost my sight. Plus, I got a book I'm trying to write, and just all kinds of other things. A card deck, an oracle card deck, based on the God Babies. My 2 God Babies, Avril, Adeline. So, and thank you again for Danny and Brittany. So, let's talk about this stuff here. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 192 notes. First note, Star Wars Hellhounds codes Virgil Ollivanders.
Oh, yeah.
Second note, Deadpool 3 Halloween returns
Alexa,
Quantum
stop.
Leap Janelle.
Okay, so we got a couple deaths. We got Ollie Anderson, the wrestler, and Virgil. My goodness. Virgil was at a Comic Con or event I went to back in 2000s. Randy actually went with me, took me to, and he pointed him out because Virgil was walking around. He's like, "Hey, that's Virgil." Virgil was signing autographs, and wow, 2 more wrestlers. Just I try to point out, mention people on here in the past, even celebrities, whatever, people that I know. I've done over 30 people that have died, and I've been close to death that many times, over 30. So we're all here, but we're here for something. We're not just here till we're done doing what we got to do. We got to keep it on. So we lost those 2. I want to mention Quantum Leap now. I was actually a part of the Quantum Leap podcast a little while back, and they never contacted me or really had much to do with me, so I quit paying the Patreon. I just started focusing more on my stuff, right? It's only been a couple of months now. I go back and listen to one of their episodes, and I hear one of the main guys, Matt Dale, has passed away. He had a heart attack on Christmas. Very young man. So we need to send all kinds of stuff out. A good energy, love, blessings. And he has a wife and a young child. So they do have a GoFundMe or some kind of thing started for him. He's done Quantum Leap books and just all kinds of stuff. Very intelligent. And it saddened me that I quit listening to the podcast, and now I go back and the man's dead. That's how things work, and I got to live with that. But I'm listening to the podcast again, and I got a couple of ideas of Quantum Leap stuff that I've been wanting to work on, including a song that I might dedicate to Matt Dale. So And yeah, I think the show's going to be canceled after the second season, the new Quantum Leap. So uh, that's a whole other thing. But we have had Ernie Hudson on. Oh man, for that. So and I wasn't into the second season. It's just after the first season of the remake of Quantum Leap, I just kind of lost it. The original show was just so much better, and that was my era, the '80s and '90s. And the new show just doesn't have it for me. And I don't think they're ever going to bring Scott Bakula into it. So I actually listened. He just did a convention recently where he said, "Hey, he's not going to have nothing to do with it. He doesn't have any, harsh toward them, but it's a different era and a different type of show." And that's true. So good deal for him taking the higher road. He said he was offered a part. He just said, "Nah, I'm not interested." So that's fine. And I actually checked out. They had a script years ago that was going to be made into a TV movie for a new Quantum Leap. And I listened to the whole table read. You can check that out on the Quantum Leap podcast. They have it. And it was kind of sad, but they were trying to find Sam and bring him back. But you see, the whole thing just didn't work. The idea was they had a watch, right? And it sounds to me like Time Cop or something else. It's been done in another movie where they were going to go try to bring him back. The person was going to wear a watch, and if they grabbed him, Sam, they could push the button like a nuclear accelerator or whatever the thing is on her body. Like you could not have a particle or a time travel chamber on your wrist. If it was that easy, then I don't know. And plus, he didn't have a body. Like if he didn't have a vision, how could she travel through time with the thing on her wrist if she wasn't traveling with her body and she was just traveling from mind to mind? Then the wristwatch wouldn't go through time, right? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. You know what I mean? Think about it, right? If the girl gets in the machine and goes back in time to find her father, spoilers for the TV show, old script, the Quantum Leap, a bold leap forward. She has a watch on. Well, if it's only her mind going into another body, then the watch can't go with her. So, Quantum Leap, yeah. Had a few rough weeks here, yeah. I lost some more files on my hard flash drive. I got a whole thing that got corrupted, all my music files. So I lost the beats after I've been collecting beats that were copyright free that I was buying. So I own the copyrights too. On top of losing the song and the video, just so much of it, you know. But things have to happen for you to understand. Like other things that are going on, you might not understand. So you take it how you want. If you take it negative, then it's going to be negative.
Ambient stream.
But you don't know the whole picture. None of us do. So you just got to chill, let the outcome come, and just, respond, don't react. So, yeah, I had a few rough nights sleeping in a row. Well, not really. I haven't been really sleeping at all. I'm in one of those takes an hour. I might get an hour every day or every couple of days. And one day, I was seeing them. No, it was night. I think I was seeing codes. All right, in my third eye, in my mind, flashing on the one side of my screen, but in my mind. And these were all different symbols. They were blue, I believe. Different things. I can't remember what they were, but they were just going down and scrolling. Like I think they were scrolling up or down. I can't remember. In my mind, though, I've had these things going on since I lost my sight. There were some kind of codes, like just letters and numbers, symbols. I don't know. And then the next night, which was very uncomfortable, this happened maybe 3 or 4 days in a row. These incidents. I believe I was visited by the Hounds, and if y'all don't know what they are, I admit they're supposed to be. I guess they come and they bring you to hell, or they're trying to take your soul, or they're trying to fight over your soul. But I'm blind, like I said, so I'm laying there 3 or 4 a.m. maybe. I'm awake because I know what time it is, and I just feel these things one by one, one by one. I felt at least one or two of them first land or jump onto my bed, and then there was 3 or 4 just circling me on the bed. That's the best I can describe. And they were dark, and their eyes were lighter than the rest of their body. They were not glowing. I can't say their eyes are fire, but I could tell there was dark bodies and eyes and some kind of animals. Couldn't tell whether they were they were thick and they were heavy, like, so I'm thinking they were doggish. So that's why I'm going to just say hellhounds. I wasn't scared, but I was just very uncomfortable and trying not to just, I was just there. And then the next night, I think my angels came and saw me because in the middle of the night when I was laying there, everything just got really bright and warm and almost to where I couldn't, like, open my eyes, because I opened my eyes and that's when I could see the brightness in the room. And see, that's happened too lately. I've started to see colors and just all kinds of things since I lost my sight. I've been experiencing. But a lot of times I'll get this bright in the room and I'll feel a little warm. And sometimes I'll ask it to get brighter and it'll actually get brighter when I ask. So I think it's some kind of, it has to be a presence. And it makes me feel like joy. Like just you want to cry, like you're just, my hip is hurting, so I got to keep moving. It's bad. 60-degree weather, dampish, I got autoimmune disease I was born with. But yeah, pretty scary when you dream about hellhounds or whatever they were. I've never dreamt of things. You don't dream of those things. These are other things, that are going on. Well, we're going to get to Star Wars, talk about that a good bit. Halloween. Now, Halloween Returns is going to be supposed to be coming out now. Actually, next year, 25. They're about to start shooting it. John Carpenter and his son co-wrote it, and did the music, of course. And see, there was a few years ago, Dustin and the two guys that they wrote a few of the Saw movies, and they actually were the ones that did Feast back in the day, The Collector, and a few other ones. But they directed and wrote movies. So they were going to do Halloween before this last three Halloweens, and they were up to the part where they were going to start shooting, and then the movie got canceled. The script was leaked online, which I've actually listened to part of. I've heard people reading it, and now they're going to do the movie. Now they're actually directing it. I think it's Dustin is directing it. So I hope it's not the same script. Spoilers if it is. The new script kind of just remade the old Halloween, but instead of Dr. Loomis, there was a Dr. Rogers. There was Michael Myers at the very end. He puts a mask on. He cuts the doctor's tongue and puts a mask on him and sends him out to get shot. So they're kind of like remaking parts of the other movies. There's a part in the movie where it's a whole scene of Michael Myers' point of view, like in the original, but he's an adult. So there's some different things, but there's just things that make sense. He kills a lot more people. He writes stuff on a wall at one point, like a bloody message. Which again, in the original, he wrote Sam Hain or somebody did, but they didn't write like sentences like in this script. So it was almost a different script. And the original script for the movie was going to be by Dunstan and Niceville, I think. So maybe now, since his Carpenter wrote it, they said that he wrote it, it'll be different. So, and there's actually news on a Friday the 13th show. It's supposed to be Crystal Lake on Peacock, a prequel show, and then a new movie reboot soon. But that's about it on that. Alexa, what are my stickies?
Okay,
Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 192 notes. First note, Star Wars Hellhounds codes Virgil Ollivanders. Second note, Deadpool 3 Halloween returns Quantum Leap Janelle Lisa.
Alexa, stop.
Third note.
Okay, and then Deadpool 3, there's a trailer for that out now, which just sounds awesome. It's like he's going through time messing with all the Marvel movies. He also he calls himself Marvel Jesus, or Marvel Cinematic Jesus, something in the trailer. And then of course Wolverine. Hugh Jackman comes out of retirement. They must have paid him everything to get back in shape again, because he said he wasn't going to play Wolverine again, and he shows up in the trailer. So Deadpool just because Ryan Reynolds was made for that character. He's funny. I remember him on like Man Wilder and just all kinds of stuff way back, way before he was even what was that Green Lantern, which I didn't mind him as Green Lantern, the superhero, because he was like a cocky, smart alecky type, same type of deal. So we got Deadpool 3. see here. I gotta mention my friend. Let me mention Lisa from the Quantum Leap, or not Quantum Leap, from the We're All Psychic podcast, which I was on a few times in the past. They were one of the first podcasts I found after I lost my sight. And so I tried to contact them for a long time to thank them for helping me realize things, and just they helped me get by, and then they helped me want to start my own podcast to help people. And so for about a year, the one girl, she went right back. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to pay for a psychic reading just so I can congratulate her, so I can thank them and everything, you know. So I did. It was like $100 something on the phone, and I just talked to her and thanked her and Misty, you know, for the podcast and that and having it, because I didn't know if they knew how, you know, like I said, one person saying something could affect others and help them. Positive, negative too, but we don't want that. It takes 1,000 positive to get rid of one negative. So anyway, I was on the show a few times, but she, you know, she maybe contacted me twice after the last almost 2 years after that, and just ignoring me, never answering my calls and messages on the Facebook. I asked to be back on the show. Wanted to contact me about doing that, but then she's on there saying they need gas and stuff. And then knowing I needed a mentor to help me with my abilities and all that, was on there saying she's going to mentor other people. Just odd stuff, right? And then whenever she's going through problems and saying it on there, I try to reach out and be a friend. And she still ignores me. So then she just ups and blocks me recently, which is just, I mean, I could have did that, quit listening to their podcast a long time ago, but that's just not right. I don't agree with everything. You gotta let people live their own existence. But yeah, she just, I don't know why. She just, and I even asked her friend Misty. You know, Misty hadn't blocked me yet. She probably will. She may, I don't know. She just hasn't wrote back to me. How can you just ignore people for years at a time even? And when she did write back before Lisa, she was like, well, I got other things to do. I can't be 24. It's, you know, it's that kind of deal, talking to me. That's what people do when they're in the wrong. I contacted you only a couple times in a few years. You know what I mean? And you can't get back to something. So she up and blocked me and all that. And that's cool. That's not going to help you to learn escaping. Easy. I just wrote this recently. New Sullivan. Easy never evolved. Okay? So think of an easy way out. What's that going to get you? You know what I mean? So, and then Janelle's another person. I hadn't talked to her for years. Lost contact with her. Nothing that happened. We just lost contact. So I did what I could. I even was calling the place I knew she worked for a few months until I finally got a hold of her, and then got her new number. She was all happy to talk to me. And then over more than a year, I told her what was happening and all that, and I lost my sight. What I've been going through over the last so many years. And then we talked just maybe for a month or two. And then she started just not calling and not talking to me, don't reply. And then when I did get a hold of her, she never called me. She would answer and just, oh, I just been busy, nothing's wrong. Because I'd rather people just be straight up. If you don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to, you know, nice and I use the energy to keep calling you. And she has never, it's probably been a year or more now since she's even called me back. I've left her a few more messages and texts on Facebook too. And she just completely ignored me. So. And there's ways to get a hold of me. So I don't know why people ghost. But that's why, you know. Oh, God got me. So and I got a few people. And that's, you know, it ain't what you don't have, right? That's what I'm trying to learn. I've been learning. It's not what you don't have. So, and you got what you need, and you get what you need. See, Alexa, what are my stickies? Lots of things.
Okay.
Actually, I know it. Alexa, what are my stickies?
I found 192 notes. First note, Star Wars Hellhounds codes Virgil Ollivanders. Second note, Deadpool 3 Halloween returns Quantum Leap Janelle Lisa.
Okay.
Third note, Teen Mom
Alexa,
Bridge
stop.
after 2.
Okay, I'm writing songs. Okay. Hey, Google, what time is it?
It's 1:40 p.m.
Okay. And then let me talk about, I got a friend of mine is going through some stuff. Okay. Now, I called domestic hotline today, crisis, and then I course, I can't get a hold of Child Protective Services because they're not there on the weekend. Now, when you call domestic hotline crisis, the 30-minute wait time, right? And then it says on there, if you're not safe, find a safe place and call back. What the? And then of course, yeah, CPS is not there on the weekend. So anyway, I got people that are going through some stuff, and what's the advice for this? Tell me this: if you're a single father, well, not a single father, if you're a father, and your spouse is not letting you see the kids, or just keeps locking you out, or just doing things to you, has even physically assaulted you, but you just want to keep making it work forever, and you have nowhere else to go or anything else to do. You're in a situation where they kind of control everything and own, basically own you. And what do you do? You don't want to lose your kids. You don't want to mess up their life, and you don't want to, hurt your other. But they've been hurting you. And how do you get out of that? What do you do? You know what I mean? It's hard for people to just leave this kind of situation. And if anybody got advice on that, let me know. Otherwise, all I can do is just talk. Like I said, you talk to the people. If they call from the show and someone needs help, I'll talk to you. But what do you do if you're in a place you have nowhere else to go? You're not even in the area to where you can get help, and you're stuck with another person, and you have, a family now, and you don't want to destroy that because you want it to be better than what you had. What do you do? Right? So I tried to call and report some things because I've heard some things that have been said, and I just don't feel comfortable with the family situation and the little kids. It's more about the kids. It ain't about the adults because the kids can't protect themselves. But what do you do? You don't want to mess up your relationship with them either, because what if they find they think that you had something to do with it? They're going to come at you malicious, of course, because they're doing wrong and they don't want uh, they don't want people to know that, or they don't want people to look at them a certain way. So how do you handle all of that? So you got to just basically be there, right? And kind of, so, and like I said, you call for advice, and what do you get? You know what I mean? And the people kind of got to help themselves as well. So I don't know. Hopefully these situations will work out, but I'm glad people come to me with stuff. You know what I mean? Because I can give advice, like I said. Just tell people you love them and be there for them. Don't add anything to it by coming down at them the way that the other influences are. Because people they get the breaking points, and you never know what's going to happen. And if they call you and you don't want to push them over, you got to do you got to give the right advice. That's so tough. So these are all things I've gone through lately, and I'm empathic. I hurt more. I hurt a lot, and I just feel everything. And I want these things to work out for people, even people I don't know. So love's a choice and so's the hate. We always say that on the show. But we're going to talk about Star Wars. We did Hounds and Halloween Returns, right? So Star Wars, I just checked, got done with an audio book, 25 hours or something, about George Lucas and the hidden history, or secret history of Star Wars. It's available in audio and regular, of course. And it pretty much covers the first 6, and then some of the stuff about the 3 after that. But yeah, George Lucas, man, George Lucas couldn't even write. He didn't even want to write, couldn't spell. He made $3 billion selling this company at the end. He done so much. He started in CGI pretty much because his company is the one that did Jurassic Park and Terminator, and they started off with the lightsabers and all that kind of deals. And so, he basically made his own universe, a galaxy. It really is. It's a saga. He had all this. He had ideas planned for this stuff a long time ago. Not what people would think. He didn't have all the movies written out and all that, but he did have a big giant book where basically he would just pick names and words and then put them together, and that's how he would come up with stuff. It was just cool how he did all this stuff. and then the characters and this. Originally, they were even going to have Paul Walker was going to be, I believe it was like young Obi-Wan at one point whenever they did the prequels. And there's so many neat little things behind Star Wars. And my buddy Danny actually talks about on the podcast before how Star Wars influenced him, the Phantom Menace, because he was in that generation, a little younger, and ADHD and that, and ADD, and couldn't calm down. And I just said one day when he was younger and I was younger, just sit and watch this movie. And it was like the first movie he said he actually sat down and watched and was calm. And he got it, you know. I explained to him all these years later that that's because of the mentalism and the Buddha. Like there's spiritual stuff in Star Wars that people just don't get, but they relate to the archetypes and stuff, like the hero and the princess and the villain and all these little things, and even like I said, the force, power of the force, which is basically, you know, energy, Reiki, Chi, whatever you want, all around us, and be mindful of your surroundings. That's Buddha, and be search your feelings. There's just different things. So he didn't realize that. I didn't realize that because I started getting more spiritual after I lost my sight. I've listened to a couple hundred audiobooks in the last few years, and I'm 2/3 of the way, or almost three quarters of the way through the audio Bible now for the 11th time, and it's 87 hours, and I started that a little over 2 years ago. So God bless for the audio Bible. It was the first book I got on the speaker. You know, and I was laying there in the dark, depressed, blind, and Dan, not Danny, but Dan, Dan and Danny, my friends, he just kept calling me, and he was going to church, and he said, let's get a bus and go to church. You know, save my life. People will save mine. That's why if I can help anybody, I want to. You know, only love and light. And so yeah, Star Wars, you got to, Jesus. 4, 5, and 6 were never called 4, 5, and 6 till years later they put that in there. So it was just a New Hope, and you know, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And what's up with these '80s incest? Okay, you had Luke and Leia kissing their brother and sister until they found out they were brother and sister. Then you actually had Marty McFly kissing his mother in Back to the Future, and then you had Michael J. Fox in that other movie where he was sleeping with his aunt. I think it was The Secret to My Success or something. The '80s movies just had weird little. I mean, it didn't really mess with the movies, but it kind of makes you. They don't do that stuff now. They wouldn't do it in movies unless the movie's about that kind of thing. So, but just awkward if you think about this. Other than that, you know, the plot was all good and whatnot, and all the actors and actresses. Harrison Ford wasn't even supposed to be in there, you know. George Lucas and Spielberg were actually good friends. They all hung out, wrote together, and made things. But Lucas wanted to do everything on his own, so he had the rights, he had the money, and he actually got divorced. He wasn't able to have children ever on his own. So after he made like the first Star Wars or so, his wife divorced him and took half the money. So then he ended up having he adopted kids. So he does have a couple, and I guess they're airing his. They're going to air his fortune now. He has a daughter at least, and I think a son or maybe more. And he adopted to have his own family years later, and then he had to put all his more money. He kept making money, made money. He put it back into the next Star Wars. That's how he made all those movies by himself. And it's just brilliant, you know what I mean? Going from a guy on a farm, pretty much, just like Luke, to having these dreams, to do bigger things, and then look at the same story. And then he put himself into in a galaxy far, far away, like the old serials it was based on. You know, that's scrolling up the text. And he was based on Flash Gordon and even John Carter, which people don't know about till recently. But John Carter has been around since the early 1900s. Books. That's where the X-Wings, there was bugs, flying bugs and insects looking things in John Carter. And that's where the X-Wings kind of, a lot of looks from Star Wars came from. And same with Flash Gordon, capes, and all these other sci-fi shows. Buck Rogers even back in the day. And then even light swords were something that came up. He didn't come up with those. Or lasers. I mean, blasters. There have been other things before that. He might have just given different names. There was a light sword before, but he called it lightsaber. So it's brilliant, those Star Wars. And then, of course, they have a couple other movies. So I went to Han Solo, and then the Rogue One, and then the 9 movies. So I've seen all of them before I lost my sight. And then the TV shows, I haven't really done much of. But I was a huge fan. I had all the toys. I had a buddy when I was in West Oklahoma Young. Matt Z was his name. He had the Darth Vader case, the original cases from the 70s with all the figures in them. He would never let anybody mess with or touch. Now, he probably still has them, just like the original Ninja Turtle comics. I think with black and white, first run, worth a lot of money probably, but he didn't care about that. He just liked the stuff and collecting it. And I had them little action figures too. They had the lightsaber in the hand, and you'd slide up this little thing underneath, and the dude would be holding like the stiff sword, like the old plastic original Star Wars. So, they don't have cartoons. Well, they got the Clone Wars on, but they didn't have cartoons back in the day. Oh, the original Star Wars, the guy who played Darth Vader, David Prowse, has a documentary because he didn't even know he wasn't going to be the voice. Like, he did the voice throughout, and then I guess they dubbed it later on with James Earl Jones because they wanted the voice to sound different than a British white guy, apparently. So he didn't even find out until the movie came out in the theater. They were changing his voice. So a lot of people don't even know who Darth Vader was. It was 2 different people. James Earl Jones was just a voice. He wasn't the guy walking around in the suit. And I think the original 6 movies was David Prowse, or at least the original 3. I'm not sure. So, and then Mark Hamill from Star Wars actually did the voice for the Joker and the cartoon TV show, Batman, the animated show, and a lot of the animated Batman movies after that for years. And I think he had to have surgery on his throat because he did that voice so much. And then Mark Hamill did the voice for a new Chucky in the remake movie Child's Play. So those are some more interesting facts about Star Wars. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:53 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, those are more interesting facts about Star Wars. Actually, yeah, Star Wars is one of Danny's favorites too. So, Tupac. I've been listening to Tupac more recently. And like I said, I'm writing songs. Anybody wants to help out with songs, music, lyrics, if you want to help make stuff. If you need songs, I'll give you the lyrics for free. I got plenty of songs. I don't even really want credit. I mean, if you can give me writing credit, that's fine. But I just want to bring this stuff out into the, to the ether. You know what I mean? The power of the spoken word and the law of attraction. So you get the stuff out, and then let it happen. So I've written a lot of songs, and yeah, check out the YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. We appreciate it all, and we'll be back shortly here. We got more guests coming up. I love y'all, and love's your choice, and so's to hate. Remember that.